My name is Ovadia2. I live in Lakewood, New Jersey. My profession is I have a small business. I'm a salesman by trade, and Baruch Hashem, I have a beautiful family. And one of the highlights of of my life is going on the mentor mission.
That's great. And how long have you been a mentor now?
It's 8 years. I've gone on 11 or 12 missions, and I hope to continue.
Amazing. And what do you see as being special or unique about the mentor's missions?
Well, there's a lot to say. I'm a very, very big fan of the mentor mission. Um, I've heard some mentors say that the mission's a life changing experience. To a certain extent, it was a life changing experience for me. Um, it it gave me an appreciation for my own Yiddishkeit, and the fact that I can have an impact on some young boys and lead them on the right derech. And many of them don't turn out from, but they have an appreciation for Yiddishkeit that they never had before. And some of them were big successes. I've learned with boys on the mentor mission that have gone to yeshiva and have gotten married and building families, Api Torah, keeping Shabbos and kashrus and doing everything right, and it's an unbelievable satisfaction to accomplish that.
That's great. And what impact has your relationship with the mentees that you've had over the years been?
Um, I've studied with many boys. There are those boys that we did not continue a friendship or a relationship. Although when I do hear from them, it's very warm. But there are those boys that I've developed a very, very nice relationship with them, and we continue to be friendly. I have boys coming to my home for Shabbos. Um, a few boys flew in from Calgary to be with me for Shabbos, to be in my home for Shabbos. I have one regular who comes quite often to my home for Shabbos. And if you don't mind, I'll tell you really the background of that, because I think that might inspire some people out there. It was very inspirational for me. I I uh, I studied with this boy about 4 years ago on the mentor mission, and the night before the end of the mission, this boy told me that he had two secrets to tell me, and he wanted to share it with me and see if I can help him with these problems that he had. One was he told me that he never had a bar mitzvah. And the second thing he told me was that he never had a bris. To which I said to him, the bar mitzvah is easy. That's a home run. We could do that right away. And we made a bar mitzvah for him the next day. Um, as far as the bris, he came to my home a few weeks later, and I arranged it with a local male, and he did the bris, and we had a suda for 75 people came to the suda, friends, family, and it was so inspiring to be at that suda. First of all, the Rosh Hashiva, Rabbi Rucham Olshin, spoke. He spoke beautifully. He spoke to the boy, and he was mechazik him, and he told him that what he did today, um, he said, one day you're going to sit down with your grandchildren, and you're going to tell them about the courage you had today. Very, very inspiring. And Rabbi Schiller spoke via video from Eretz Yisrael. I spoke. It was a great, great evening, and
Wow.
you can't describe the feeling, the satisfaction you get out of something like that.
It's unbelievable. And when these mentees come to your home, what is it that, once you've started this relationship, what is it that you think affects them most about coming into a Jewish home for the first time, some of them?
Yeah, I'll tell you just a very bekitzer. I found that many of the boys that I've studied with and other boys that I've spoken with on the mentor mission, um, many of them come from divorced homes, broken homes, and we know the divorce rate in America is very, very high. Um, I think that they are very, very taken by the family unit, the Shabbos table, the Zmiris, the Divrei Torah, and the interaction, children and parents. It's something I don't think they've ever experienced. And I always tell them that this is not the reason to become from, but it's one of the beauties of being a Shomer Torah mitzvahs and Shomer Shabbos, and I think I think they're very inspired by coming for Shabbos and seeing the family cohesiveness.
And what's the value of learning with Balabatim? Do you think that there's an added value of learning with Balabatim, which the mentor's mission provides, rather than just going to a formal education setting for some of these boys?
Okay, I always tell people when I discuss the mentor mission with them that I think the success and the beauty of the mentor mission is that Kiruv typically all over is done by rabbis. And there are a lot of very, very good rabbis, and they've done a lot of good. The beauty of the mentor mission is that the Kiruv is done by Balabatim, simple, regular people. When you have a rabbi being Makarev, there's a natural divide that he's a rabbi, he's different. When they meet up with Balabatim, they meet accountants, lawyers, doctors, businessmen like myself, school teachers. I think that has such a profound impact on them that these regular people are keeping Shabbos. These regular people can keep kosher. I've heard boys have told me, I could be like you. I could be like you. They come to my home and they see I have a nice home, I have 2 cars, I have a nice family, Baruch Hashem, a lot of good things in my life, and I think that they see something about Yiddishkeit that they don't get in a yeshiva, and they don't get from rabbis. It's a totally different outlook for the boys.
It's amazing. And what would you tell those who are potentially interested in participating in a mentor's mission?
Well, I can tell you that I've never met anybody who's come on the mission and wasn't completely happy. It's I tell people, we all do mitzvahs, and some of them are easy, some mitzvahs are more difficult to do. Here you can do a big mitzvah of bringing somebody closer to Yiddishkeit, and at the same time you can have so much fun. It's so pleasant and so enjoyable, and I always tell friends of mine that one of the nicest things about the mentor mission is that you meet really the greatest bunch of guys. You meet wonderful, dedicated Balabatim, and at the same time you meet students who want to be inspired and want to learn more. And that combination, it just carries me from one mission to the other.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, you're welcome.